Hey guys, Toast here, and today is a momentous day for Blizzard fans everywhere as Overwatch is officially released. Today I'm going to do a brief overview of the game's mechanics and give my impressions and a brief review based on the game's launch. For those of you who are new to this game or may not quite be up to snuff on first-person shooter news, Overwatch is Blizzard's first-person objective-based shooter with MOBA elements. But don't be fooled, this game is a first-person shooter first, and most certainly wouldn't be misconstrued for a MOBA by anyone watching or playing this game. The game features all 6v6 game modes that are all objective-based with some variation of escorting, king of the hill, and domination. Every game mode focuses on teamwork and coordination, where the amount of objective-based focus you have often overweighs the number of kills you get in regard to whether or not your team ends up on top. The game features 4 different roles in which all characters fall into, those being offense, defense, support, and tank. Let's break down each one of these briefly. First, we have the offensive characters. These are your main damage dealers. They're designed to get up close and personal, doing high damage and clearing out the front line. Characters in this role include Genji, the versatile flanker with the highest level of mobility in the game, McCree, the game's best duelist, capable of killing almost anyone he gets up close to, Pharah, a versatile and mobile hero capable of limited duration flight, Reaper, a deadly assassin that can move like a ghost throughout the battlefield, Soldier 76, the archetypal soldier hero intended to be a gateway hero for players from other franchises, and finally Tracer, a deadly hero who can control the speed of her own passage through time. These characters are best for players who like to do a lot of damage really quickly. Next up, we have defensive characters. These are your snipers, builders, and crowd control characters. They're designed to back up the offensive line by picking off enemies that may be sitting back, laying traps, and providing crowd control. Characters in this style include Bastion, a hero with both a mobile submachine gun form and a second immobile turret form, Hanzo, a lethal bowman and assassin, Junkrat, a crazed explosive-obsessed outlaw, Mei, an icy scientist who's taken the fight to preserve the environment into her own hands, Torbjorn, one of the world's greatest turret engineers, and Widowmaker, a cold-blooded assassin and the archetypal sniper. These characters are best for players who like to stay behind the front line and offer defensive support from afar. Next up, you have your support characters, which are essentially your healers and your buffers. They're there to make sure that you don't die, to heal you when you're low on health, and buff you when you're going into battle. This style has the least number of characters, including Lucio, an international celebrity who inspires social change through his music and actions, Mercy, the most healing-oriented of the supports, capable of rapidly bringing her team back up to full health, Symmetra, a unique support who keeps her allies alive through unconventional means, and Zenyatta, a potent offensive-focused support with incredible killing power. These characters are best for players who like to offer support for their team and keep their fellow players alive. And finally, we have our tanks, which are, well, tanks. They're there to soak up as much damage as possible and pull aggro, leaving your teammates free to move about the map and set up their strategies. Characters in this style include Diva, a former professional gamer who now uses her skills to pilot a state-of-the-art mech, Reinhardt, a champion of the bygone age who lives by the knightly codes of valor, justice, and courage, Roadhog, a former Australian outback resident turned Australian Liberation Front founder whose home became an apocalyptic wasteland, Winston, the most mobile tank capable of crossing vast distances in a single leap to bring the fight to his enemies, and Zarya, a Russian pink-haired soldier who loves to play around with particles and gravity. These characters are best for players who don't want to worry about dying as often, but also don't mind dealing a little bit less damage. You can select any character you like in the game, and there's no limit to the number of duplicate characters on a team or in a game. You'll select one character at the very beginning of each match, however you're welcome to swap characters at any time when you die, or just by going back to your team's spawn area. This allows for a huge variety of team options, and coordination within your team is key. Every character in Overwatch has a primary attack, a set of 2 or more abilities, and 1 ultimate ability. The standard abilities are on a cooldown timer and can be used as frequently as you like as long as it isn't on cooldown. The ultimate ability is built up through the course of the match and can be used once your meter reaches 100%. The ultimate ability meter will fill slowly throughout the course of the game, however it'll fill much faster the more damage you do to the enemy or the more support you provide to your team. The gameplay is extremely fluid and fun. It isn't quite as fast-paced as many other first-person shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield, however it also isn't nearly as slow-paced as MOBAs. It has a knack for finding a great middle ground of pace and excitement. The game is also excellent at making players feel rewarded. You'll constantly see points come across your screen for things that you do, such as kills, assists, healing, and objective play. And one of the most encouraging things about the game is that you'll still be credited with an elimination of an enemy character as long as you do damage to that character, to make it easier for players to not have to worry about kill stealing or having kills stolen from them. The game is very well optimized on PC, and with my computer, which includes an i7-5820K and a GTX 980 Ti, I can run the game at 1080p, usually around 120 frames per second, though never lower than 90. On PS4 and Xbox One, the game also runs very smoothly, though at times you will feel a noticeable dip below 60, which can make the game unfortunately feel choppy. My biggest critique though of the game, and the one thing that would bring me to give it less than a perfect score, is that for a full-price AAA game, the amount of content feels a bit on the light side. Blizzard will of course be releasing more characters, maps, and likely game modes in the future, but I could see this handful of base content being a bit repetitive over the first few months, especially in regard to the number of game modes available. Now, with all that said, what would I rate this game? Based on the quality of content, the mechanics, the variety, and my overall enjoyment level, this game will definitely get a 9 out of 10. Delightfully crunchy. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what rating you think the game deserves, and if you enjoy the game as much as I do. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content, please subscribe and follow me on Facebook and Twitter, links in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Toast, and I'll talk to you soon.